So welcome. I hope that you're going to enjoy. It's really a pleasure for me to be here and to present this to you. In this episode, we're going to look at how to evaluate that business or a business idea. You can also use it for a project or an investment, but today we're specifically going to look at an affiliate marketing point of view. So the first thing is welcome to episode 5 of From Zero to Millions. And in this lesson, we're going to look at how to evaluate your money-making machine. Right, so for those of you that do not know me, I'm Dreyer. My honorary title is Oom or Uncle. There are some people that calls me a doctor, but I don't prefer that. I prefer Hannes or any of the other honorary titles. So my job, my purpose in life is to teach people, to mentor people, to guide people, to help people in order to become wealth creators. And a wealth creator is basically a person that knows how to create, how to grow, how to protect, and how to enjoy their wealth. And wealth is not what we think it is. Wealth is, if we look at the core and the old English, the core of the word wealth, W-E-A-L, you're going to find that it means well-being. And that's what we want. We want to have well-beingness in all areas. There are 7 areas of life. The financial side is one part of that. And another way to say it is to say that actually we want to be happy. That's it. And it made a lot of sense to me when I started on terms of focusing on the financial side, because as soon as you are financially free, then you've got the time freedom, you've got the freedom of choice and the purpose freedom, so that you can go and do what you want to do, when you want to do, how you want to do it, where you want to do it, without worrying about money. And that is where I started. But it's not to say, remember there are 7 areas. And then in the process, you start balancing out these 7 areas so that you can have that well-being in all 7 areas of life. And this is what I want to do with this specific playlist or channel. And that is to help you to create, to grow, to protect, and to enjoy your wealth. Now on the first, actually not the first, it was about the 1st of April 2020, I decided that I want to take on a new challenge. And I actually took on more than one challenge. But one of the things that I started doing the From Startup to Income, a course that Lara, my daughter, presented within the Wealth Creators Method. And when I looked at that material, I thought, there's so many people during this coronavirus story, not only in South Africa, but worldwide, that is going to have a serious problem. I've seen somewhere that in America alone, there's something like 23 million people that have lost their jobs. Here in South Africa, I think there's a lot of people that's taking knocks. The small businesses, even the bigger businesses is suffering. I looked the other day at the JSE, and none of them over the last 5 years could even get into a positive. And it's simply because not only of the economy, but we're sitting in a very unique situation here in South Africa where I think our government is buggering up this whole economy, and they don't care because they want to bring in the socialist and communistic ideology in. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you're a capitalist, you're going to feel that. And for that reason, I think that we need to find another source of income. And that is what I sat down and I said, if I've lost everything, but at least I've got a computer and I've got access to the internet, and I can, let's say, survive, at least feed my family for the next month or 3, what will I do? And it so happened that I decided that I'm going to get into a new industry, something that I haven't done before, and I'm willing to learn a new skill, and that is affiliate marketing. And this is what I'm presenting and that I want to present to you. So I see there's a lot of people already. Janita from Saldana and Jennifer, hello. And Francois, hello, Amanus, I like that. Neta, Rian, hello. Lilu, Jan, Tsi, I hope that's right, sorry. Christu, Nkonsana, Henny, Lynch. Right, so welcome to all of you. I like the like, so if you can give me a like, I really will prefer that. And then also, if you haven't subscribed yet, there's a little subscribe button that you're going to find. Please click on that, and then you be subscribed. It's going to turn into a grayish with a little bell. Click on the bell, and as soon as there's any notification, in other words, if we bring out another training session or a video, you will be notified so that you can decide if you want to see this. Normally with the lives, I'm giving you a fair warning that I'm going to, if I say a fair warning, it's at least an hour or so before the time. Today it was a little bit longer than an hour. So that is normally the way that we do the stuff. And then if you listen to the replay, exactly the same thing. Tell us where you're from, maybe why is it that you visited this channel. This channel, by the way, from zero to income is this journey that I am going to share with people. But I'll share some tips and tricks and trade secrets and what I've learned and regarding affiliate marketing. Also, the wealth creator strategy that I'm applying and how that works, as well as the formula for riches, this ebook. I'll give you a link for free. If you can put in a one that you want the book, then I'll more than happy to give it to you. So in the comment section or the chat section, if you haven't got the book, just say one, and I'll make sure that I'm going to give you a link at the end of this session, a way to find it, as well as a lot of goodies. So if you want goodies, not only the book, but valuable stuff, just put in a one, and then at the end, I'm going to show you where you can find it. Right, and then I see Jennifer already is there with the one. I prefer that and love that. Also, not only do I like the likes, there's a little like button, but there's also a heart button. I love the hearts as well. Mohammed also a one, and Marius also a one, and Janita also a one, and Netta. I really like that. Lynch one. Right, so let's go for it. Now, what I want to do is I want to switch over to a PDF, and then in the PDF, today's training is about in terms of this business machine. How do we evaluate? And maybe let me get back and give you like an introduction. When I start in a business like this business, where especially if it's a new industry and especially if it's something that I've never done before, then the first thing that I want is I want to go and have a look at what is it that I'm good at, what am I passionate about, try to bring the two together, and then see if there's a link, in other words, a marker to it. And that is where I'm going to focus. We call that a niche. Now, we should be very careful, especially if you've lost your job, or if you've been in a job and you're almost like in a dead end, or in a business, but you're in a dead end in that business. It means that somewhere we're not doing this stuff right. And for that reason, take your existing business and go through the same process. But if you want to start a new business, follow this process. And I can guarantee you that just by doing this, you're going to save yourself a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, and a lot of headaches. Right, so this is how I start. In other words, I get an idea, and then I take that idea and I test it. Now, there are 4 big mega markets that I like to play in, or that I will go into. The first one is the money market, right? That is a massive market. And that is a big niche. And then the easiest way to get in, especially with affiliate marketing, is, okay, there's the money market. But then we break it down. Money is, a budget can be a part of that. In terms of how to invest is another, how to make money, how to find a job. These are all what we call sub-niches. In other words, there's the big market, and then that becomes the niche, and then the sub-niche. And then, for example, if you go into property, into investments, now you're going to find that there's a lot of ways that you can invest. So money is the big market, and then there's investments. You can invest in the share market or the stock market. You can invest in play the forex. You can invest in cryptos, in property, in business, in all sort of investments. That is then the third layer. But that still is too big. So in property, you can break it down, because you can invest in residential properties and in commercial properties and in property developments and in bed and breakfasts and hotels and stuff like that. So you can see there's a whole spectrum of that. But then you can break that down because within the commercial property and as well as residential, you can flip as an example, or you can buy to rent, right? So my first niche was the buy to rent, but then I brought in something special in that market. So within the niche, I created like almost another niche, but I could have just stopped there, but I had the program, the Property Pro program, and because I had that program, guess what I did? I did a combination and I showed people a very unique and a very safe and a very incredible way in order to invest long-term in residential property. So I hope that you see what it is that I've done. Now, of course, I love investments. I love to teach. I love to, and I bring all of this together. And when I decided to go for the affiliate marketing, that is exactly, I said, okay, what is it that I feel comfortable, that I will go out of my way and that I will spend many, many hours in order to learn. And then, well, in my case, because I love to teach and mentor and coach, to bring that back to you. And that is exactly what I've done. So what is the process? If you want to see the process, just give me a 2. So in the chat box, you can say 2, or you can say, give it to me, Christo, is Jan prosper to grow. I like that. Henny and Chris, you all want to have the free goodies. I'm going to show you where to get it. Prosper to go gave me a like. I love that. And there the 2 comes to in Francois, Christo, Rian, Henny, Marius. Okay, so yeah, okay, now suddenly it's coming fast. Right, so I'm going to give it to you. And just bear with me. I'm going to switch over to a PowerPoint presentation. Now, please, if I can give you perhaps a suggestion or make a suggestion, go and have a look at the sequence of how I'm doing this stuff. Then you're going to get a far better idea. So last week, we focus on the design part of this machine. In other words, unless you've got a goal, and I'm going to give you a link to the PowerGoal ebook if you haven't got it, because that's where it starts. And if you've got that wrong, then forget it, and nothing is going to work out. You need to start with a goal, and you need to know why is it that you want that specific goal. And the deeper and the more cemented that goal will be, the easier it is going to be to stay focused and to keep the momentum, because that why becomes your intent. And again, in the formula, it says that my intent equals my focus. That I'm going to focus on is my intent, and my intent is the equal sign is simply the belief system. But if the intent is strong enough, I'm going to do the things that I need to do. So then I'm going to build the machine. So if I want to supplement this, for example, in my case, it was to be financially free, and I wanted to have surplus income so that I could make the right investments, as well as the business to grow. That is where my intent, and that's why I started building money-making machines in 1987. And then you're going to check the result. But by building the machine, you first have to design it, and this was what we've done in the previous episode, in episode 4. So today I want to go a little bit deeper into that design. Before I design, remember how complicated it looked. So when you design a machine, you need to do the design as if you're going to take it from a level 1 to a level 7, where a level 7 is financial freedom, and a level 1 is you're thinking of how and what business am I going to start, and then a level 2 is where you start generating the first income. But the machine must already in the design phase cater for this whole process. So you can't go to the machine and then just, because it's almost like building a house, you build a little bit here and a little bit there, and nothing makes sense. So if the foundation, the groundwork is done and the foundation is laid, then you can start building different sectors and sections, because you know exactly how it's going to come together. And exactly the same with this machine. So when we look at the machine, the way that I do it before I actually go into it, I simply go and say, okay, but how can I make sure that this idea that I want to turn into a business, how can I make sure that this is going to take me through all 7 levels in order to get to where I want to be within the next year or 3 years to do? And this is what I'd like to show you. But the best way to do that is Lara in the From Startup to Income actually condensed all of this, and there's a lesson. And I'd like us to listen to that lesson. I also like you to take notes, and take the notes fast and furious. Right, I just want to see, I see a lot of Tabu, and Tabu is 1 and a 2, and there's a lot of 2s. Right, so let's go over to Lara, and then I've got a little video that I want to play for you quickly.
Welcome to this lesson. I showed you with the help of the canvas just how easy it is to get an idea, see if there's a market for the solution, and if you can provide the solution. Now, you will probably end up with a few options. So how do you know which one to go for? Remember, you are looking for that one that is going to be the easiest way for you to make money. So if you think that one of these options will either take too much time or be too difficult to pursue, just put it aside for now. You might return to this a bit later on. You first want to go after those quick and easy ideas. The next step is to put this canvas idea through our Wealth Creators business evaluation process. What it does, it is help you to determine if the idea is a viable long-term business idea or not. So why would you care about that? Starting any business will take time, effort, mindsets, and currency, be it skills or your money. So why not make sure that you spend your teams from the very beginning on a business idea that you can grow into something bigger, and potentially something that you don't have to be a part of and still make money. In the download section of this lesson, you will find the business evaluation process that you can use for your own canvas ideas. So let's have a look at the process. You will start at the very top. If you answer yes to a question, you move on to the next. And if you answer no, you scratch the idea and move on with the next canvas. And you start with the very first question. Can I apply the formula for riches? Is it possible? Can I make it happen? Do I have control over this happening? If you answer no to any one of these questions, you scratch the idea and you begin with a new canvas. But if you can, move on to the next question. Will it be fun? If you do not enjoy this thing, whatever this idea is, it will not bring you happiness, and you can't change your mindset around it, scratch it. Achieving success in something that you enjoy is just a lot easier than going after something that you do not like. You can always learn to like it, but if you can't, just scratch the idea. But if this business idea can bring you happiness, move on to the next question. Are you prepared to put in the time, effort, mindsets, and currency? If you are, move on to the next question. Now, these first 3 questions are there to make sure that you really want this. The rest of the questions are there to determine if this business idea is a long-term business or not. So, can this process be automated? What can I do to get this business flowing? Online is easy. Almost everything can be automated if you set it up correctly. But what about an offline business? How do you automate that? Well, the easiest way is to get someone to help you, like a personal assistant or a secretary who can help you with some of the work, freeing up your time and your effort. Because that is the whole point of automation, is to free up your time. If you can automate this process, move on to the next question. Is it scalable? Can you grow this idea that you have into a business where you don't have to be actively involved anymore? And can you use technology in any way, shape, or form to help you? Because this will just speed up the process as well. Can I leverage my resources? Remember, internal and external resources. Internal being time, efforts, and skills, and external being your money. Example, what is the best way to spend my teams in order to get the results that I want? Spending money and freeing up my time, or spending time and effort and saving money? If you know that you can leverage your resources, move on to the next question. Will this make me free? Can you use this idea to become financially free? Or in other words, can you build this idea to the point where you don't have to be actively involved in the business anymore and still make money? If yes, move on. Is it good for everyone involved? Does it feel good? Is it good for me and others? Is it good for the greater good? If you answer no to any one of these questions, just scratch the idea and move on to the next canvas. And then maybe for the most important question, are there enough profits? For example, Is this idea going to be worth your while if you only make, let's say, 200 Rand profit of whatever it is that you're selling? Let's see. If you do not have to spend a lot of time and effort to make 200 Rand, and you can make a lot of 200 Rands, it could be profitable. But if it takes you a lot of time and effort to only make 200 Rand, is it really worth your time? Maybe you can tweak the idea a bit to make it more worth your while. But if you can't, just scratch the idea. And if it is profitable, you now know that you have a viable long-term business idea that you can go for. Remember, this is still just an idea. It can and possibly will change. Don't get hung up on it. If you present it to the market, which we will do in Module 2, and they have no interest, we just move on to the next canvas. Don't get caught up in the idea of this one has to work. Start with evaluating your easiest ideas first and then move on to the hard ones. You can even use your easiest idea to get more difficult ones started. For example, let's say I have 2 canvases. This one is an easy and straightforward idea that I can use to make a quick buck, but I can't really scale the business to a point where I don't have to be actively involved. And my second idea will take a little bit more time and effort or even money to get going, but once it is running, I can use this one to get to freedom. So I will use canvas number 1 to help me fund canvas number 2 until canvas number 2 is at such a point where I can pursue it full time. When you have completed your business evaluation process, you will move on to building your prototype. Now, your prototype will be how you present your idea to the market. But before you can do that, you need to know who your market is in the first place. And that is what we are going to talk about in the next lesson.
Isn't this absolute amazing stuff that Lara shared here with us? If you follow this, and I see so many people, they've got this idea and then they put in the time and the effort and they get and set up a business and they print stationery and the business cards and they set up a website and it costs them a couple of $100,000 rands or dollars or pounds or yen, and then they bring this to the market and then the market says, sorry Pat, we don't like this. And then that you have to force, or they force themselves, they borrow money in order to make this viable because you know it takes, the conventional wisdom is it takes 2 years for a business to start getting profitable and stuff like that. That is the biggest nonsense that I've ever heard in my life. But this is the way that the system indoctrinates us to give up our lives and to become a slave. So this valuable information that Lara just shared here with you is simply a start. If you see this thing is not going to work and the process that she is going to take you through is so proven and so immense that it's unreal. So I'd rather fail in 8 start-up businesses before I actually start the business than to get a business and spend 5 years trying to start it and trying to revive it and trying to grow it when it can't. But if I've simply followed, if you follow this strategy, this plan, you're going to see how simple and how easy it is. And you can even start a business with absolutely no money, which she said, the first canvas, use that canvas and fund the second one and make sure that there's no money out of you, or that you don't punt, or that you don't bond your property, or that you don't take your security in terms of your pension and stuff like that in order to do it. Now, there's one thing that worries me a lot. This information that Lara just shared with you is so valuable, and I don't see any likes coming through. I don't see any hearts. This is serious, valuable stuff that we want to share with you, because the moment that you set your business up in the first time and in the right way, you can go through these canvases. I remember in the Rainmaker startup business, a lady, she set up 8, 9 canvases before, and each and every time she got disappointed at one point. She said, but nothing is going to work. And I said simply, just carry on. The market tells you that you're going to waste your time by trying to take that idea in the concept form that you've got it. And now I see the likes are coming in, and Arasi, thank you for that, and Janita and Jennifer, and make sure that you play the game, that you play the game in order to win, Why on earth will you set up yourself for failure before you even start? And 99% of the businesses out there is setting them up literally because they think they have to follow this business plan, stupid, idiotic thing that people are taught in an MBA. I fired a couple of MBAs like 25, 30 years ago that worked for me that had this mentality of you have to put in the time and no. You start a business, that business must become viable and profitable within the next week or two. Otherwise, you know that you should never have presented the prototype. And that's the way. And thank you for that. Marius, thank you for the hearts. And LJ and Reginald and Netta and Lynch and Christo and Tsetsi. Right. I really appreciate that. And this is powerful stuff. And thank you also for the likes. We're going to have a question and answer session. So if you've got questions, right, line them up for me regarding this specific lesson. Roy says, we always like you, honest. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate that. And that is basically what I want to bring to you. Now, a question that I'm getting on a regular basis is, but honest, where on earth do I start? Thank you, Rian and Jan. Where do I start? I will start with this. I'm telling you, this course from startup to income is an incredible, powerful course. In the beginning, you had to do it for over 4 weeks. Now it's open. In other words, literally within a week, you can start, especially if you link that. And by the way, the affiliate story is linked to this. Right. So within a week, you can start, you can literally, and you will start a business. And within a month, you'll start seeing some income, or within 2 months, depending on what affiliate system you're in, because most affiliate systems is going to wait a month plus a week, or sometimes a month plus 2 weeks. And then you start seeing the money dripping in. But in the meantime, you carry on, and you can see and measure your progress and see how you work. And you can incorporate that with your goal. And the way to do it, and I'll explain to you just now how to do it. And you can see the results. And to me, the results, that's what matters, because that result is positive or negative, and both positive as well as negative are extremely good, because now I can measure it. If it's negative, the result, I know that there's something missing. I need to go back either to my machine or to my goal or my belief systems and fix that and go through the process again. Next time, I'm going to show you what we do and how we've built some of the machines that we are using. It's unreal. So I'd like to, Laura yesterday showed me on Sunday, she showed me something that she prepared in terms of a marketing. And I'd like to test that with you, if that, of course, is okay with you. So it's going to take like 2 minutes, and then just give me your comment regarding that. Now, remember, if you are part of our affiliate system, as soon as she brings this out, then what's going to happen, you can start referring people to this page, and if they subscribe, they're going to be your client for the rest of basically your life. Of course, make sure that you understand that. So let's, thank you, Steen and Jan. So let's go and listen to what Laura's got to say, and please give me an honest opinion or feedback. I can even maybe direct you to the page. Francois says, asseblief oom, right, oom Hannes, I'm going to do it. Let me share.
Does this sound familiar? Go to school, get good grades, go to university, find a job, pay off your debt, climb the ladder, 2 weeks vacation per year, pay off your mortgage, and die. I hate to think that this is life. Who decided that this was the standard of a successful life? That this was the standard that we should strive towards? We miss out on the important things because we have to work to cover our bills and repay our debt, and we are told to be grateful, submissive, and to obey without question. The world we find ourselves in has been designed to take away our choices, because our choices are controlled or limited to the amount of money that we have. And most don't have a say about what they get paid. You do not have a say when you get to take a break or for how long. And with everything going on today, you don't even have a say if you will get paid anymore. But what if you did? What if you could make the rules? What would your life be like? Would you live the life you're currently living? Or would it look completely different? What if you could create your dream life? What if I told you that you can have your cake and eat it too, but it will 100% depend on you, because you must decide to do something about it? If you do the same thing every day, you can't expect to get different results, so it's time to do things differently. It's time to take action and put yourself in a position where you are able to make the choices for your own life. Welcome to the first steps of wealth creation and designing your own future. Welcome to the From Startup to Income course. In 4 short modules, discover just how easy, fast and safe it can be to start your own business, generate a new source of income and take the first steps to create your version of success. During this course, you will learn everything that you need to know about starting your own successful business, from validation to implementation, and we will even show you how to get started without any money. You will also get access to the Facebook community and the Wealth Creators portal and mobile app, where we will help with any and all questions that you might have along the way. And because we believe in lower risk equals high results, we will take away all risk and back it up with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thus, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And if you sign up today, you will also get access to the PowerGoal method to help you set powerful goals for your new wealth creation journey. So are you ready for a life of abundance and discovering what you're really capable of? To say goodbye to the old and hello to the new. A version of life where you make the rules, because you have the freedom to make choices. Click on the button below and enroll today to start your journey towards success, freedom, wealth and abundance.
Isn't that what it's all about? Isn't it about freedom to be able to do what we want to do, when we want to do, where we want to do it, how we want to do it, with whom we want to do it, without worrying about money? You know, to be able to sit overseas. I remember when we were in Panama the first time, that was last year, my son-in-law had the best month ever in his life. Of course, since then he crashed that. But yet the best month sitting for a month in Panama. Isn't it incredible? I remember in 2000, I think it was in 2007, we got on a plane. This wasn't affiliate marketing, and he hasn't got affiliate marketing. This is separate businesses or other businesses. But I remember on our way to Argentina, during that, I think it's about a 14-hour trip, I've made 739,000 Rand while on the plane. This is a power that we've got, but the condition is that we have to learn a skill. No one is born as an affiliate marketer. It's a skill that I've started learning like now for the last 2 months. And I've already made more than 100,000 in rands here in South Africa. It's amazing how quickly you can learn things on condition that you've got a goal and on condition that you know your why. But I guarantee you, if someone take a pistol and put it against your brain and say, listen, buddy, if you do not produce an income within the next week, it's gone. You will find a way, my friend, to do that. Now, why do you wait for someone to put a gun there? We've got a gun. I don't know if you know. If you're a South African, you've got a gun against your... I'm telling you that this government is going to bugger up this economy. You can't rely on just rand income anymore. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I would say to you, listen, I haven't got a plan B. I don't believe in a plan B. We are sitting in a country that is bursting with opportunities. It's still bursting. But I'm not going to put my future and that of my children and my grandchildren in this country. I want to diversify in terms of pounds and euros and yen and dollars and any other denomination except Bitcoin, heavy in Bitcoin at the moment, and cryptocurrencies. I don't want to be caught in South Africa because I'm telling you, I can see what is busy happening. And this is just another thing. Now, one of the things that I've seen, we'll get to the question and answer session just now, but one of the things that I've seen is that people are, yeah, honest, but it's too much, especially if they go to the Wealth Creators University and they see what is going on there and how much information is there and how many courses are there and different kinds of courses, from property to crypto to mines to business to Facebook to you name it. It's there. I mean, of course it's going to be overwhelming, and now we add another stuff to it. So what do you do? Where do you start? I would say start by taking this bundle, because the PowerGoal method is included. There are 4 courses, and that is actually where you're going to start. You start, first of all, you take this course, and then before you start the course, because unless we understand why it is that we don't see things through, why is it that we quit whenever things seems to be tough, Or why is it that we don't get the results? All of that is in the Quantum Awakening. And in the Quantum Awakening, we go into that and take you through 8 video courses, 8 video lessons. Very straightforward, very easy, but I promise you, it's the first time that you're going to learn this. This is the deepest experience that you can have in terms of discovering your greatness, and that you were born to have this life of abundance where you can have freedom and where you can do the things that you want when you want. And I had the privilege from the age of 37, and I think this is why Lara joined me, because she saw what's happening in our family and how we do things versus other families. And that's, I believe, where her passion comes from. I see Carla is doing the same thing. Vincent is doing the same thing. Jacques is doing the same thing. They came into the family later. But they got this and they start helping other people, because by helping other people and by adding value to other people, guess what? Your value increases. And that's the premises and the basics of business. So the moment that you can start helping other people, and the more people you can help, the more financially you become abundant. It's a strange and a weird concept, but you have to start somewhere. So where do you start? You start with the Quantum Awakening to understand that. Then you set your power goal. And if that power goal includes making money, investments, even if you've got an existing business, then start with this, with the first lesson of this, from startup to income. Right. As soon as you start, as soon as you've done the first, not even the first module, as soon as you've done the first or second lesson, or maybe the module, then do the point game. Because here's another thing that I've seen, where people, they start, but now it becomes serious and it feels like you're back at school, and it's overwhelming, and you've never experienced some of the concepts and stuff, and then you say, I'll do it later. But if you turn that into a game, and you say, for each and every lesson per day, I'm going to do 3 lessons, maybe there's 10 or 12 lessons for the day. I'm going to give myself, if I do the first lesson 5 points, second lesson another 5 points, the third lesson 15 points, and that is my goal. My goal for today is to get 2 lessons, 10 points. If I can do 3, I'm going to get 5 more points. And you turn that into a game, and then you start with the 91 day. So as soon as you've condensed that into, because now you can already see the modules and how many lessons are there. So you can literally plan. Now you start planning that, and now you start with the 91 perfect day challenge that is included in this package deal. And as soon as you start with that, guess what? Now I go back to start with the from startup to income. I incorporate that, but I do not go through the lessons to go and get as quickly as possible. For example, I can give myself double points. In other words, I can get 15 points. But if I've implemented that I've learned for the day, I can double that. In other words, if I can get positive or negative, I don't care. But now I start doubling that, and guess what? Immediately I've got more points. And why do I do this? Because many, many years ago, when I developed this system, as a salesman, the sales was up and down. And I see in businesses, you know, that business is up and then it's down, and it's chaos. But if you can smooth that out and do the stuff without necessarily making a sale, but you've done today what you were supposed to do, and you've implemented and you've learned something, that is what's going to be gold in the future. So everything that you implement, that's where the double point starts coming in. And then you start playing a game. And all you do is, for 91 days, there's a 5-minute to 8-minute session in the morning where you clear your mind, where you set this goal according to your power goal, the point game link up, and now you start with the course. And you say, man, some people is going to take 2 or 3 months, 91 days. I think that you can do this whole course and start getting results literally within 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe a month, and set yourself a goal to go through this and to start implementing and to start getting the results. Because why do we do this? Success breeds success. I don't know if you know that. As soon as you're successful and you see, I should have got 10 points, I've got 15 points or 30 points for the day, you're going to see that that night when you go to bed, you're going to feel good. And this is what success is. Success is a progressive realization of a goal. So you've set the goal through the PowerGoal method process. You know why things are working the way that it works. You incorporate this course. And by the way, it's not this course and not only our courses. every single course that you're going to do in future, even if it's got nothing to do with the Wealth Creators University or the method, do exactly the same thing with that course, and know where that course is going to fit in. Why is that so important? Let me give you the reason. Because to become successful, I need to get the right information, the right order for the level of the game that I'm at, and then I have to do it to measure the results. Because as soon as I've got the results, I can measure the results. And if I can measure the results, I can manage my life, and I can manage the way that I think and the way that I progress. And this is what we've really put in a lot of time, and Laura's done an incredible great job in order to bring all of this. And luckily, because she's done this and she's been with me now for the last, I think it's 9 years, that she's implemented. I think 9 years ago, she started the Rainmakers. And a part of the Rainmakers is you have to start a business with absolutely no money. You can't borrow, you can't sell something in order to get the money. You have to start it with zero. And Rian, I know that you've done it as well. Rian is on here. And it's absolutely amazing when you do that. But then you get stuck and you don't move on to the next level. And this is what and why we opened the method for those of you that wants to do it. So I've seen a lot of comments. I quickly want to go and see if I can add value. I can't wait. Rassi, where do you get the form to add me on the system for the kickback for sales from persons that I promote? Rassi, I'm going to show you just after I've read it. I'm going to show you. And another thing, Rassi, that I would love you to do is to go through this from startup to income in the right sequence. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to have a webinar. It was the same webinar that I've done on Thursday, right? But it did not work out. I got bombed out and I could not get the information. So I'm going to do it, but this time I'm going to do it here on Facebook because it seems to be that this works a lot better. So if you can, there's an email that we've sent out, or just check out, you'll see that is. But I'm going to give you the link to sign up. But in the webinar and about in 3 days' time, or in 3 episodes from now on, I'll get more in detail on, because there are different levels. Honest, awesome. That is the way to go. Great, Laura. Thank you for that. And I really appreciate that you gave Laura so many likes and thumbs up, because she's doing an incredible job here with us, and the way she brought in a new energy to us. Francois, brilliant video. I really like how Laura focused on all the hot buttons. Now, can you see how Francois, because Francois just started with the method, so he already started picking up what Laura is busy doing and why she's doing that. And this is the reason why Laura is getting the results that she's getting, and we are getting the results that we're getting. Cornell, I spoke to Cornell earlier today. I think you're on board as well on the method, and it's going to be an incredible, and thank you for that applause. Reginald, brilliant. Marius, thumbs up. Jan, I like the video. It's very true, especially the beginning. Thank you. Steen, or great energy that brings the alive. I like that. Jock, Furi, thank you for that. Applaud. Rassi, thumbs up. Rian, great video. Might be my sound setup, but some of the levels of the voice over and the music was too close in the beginning, slightly difficult to hear. You'll see that as soon as I refer you to the website, and that is where you're going to refer people to. But remember, if you're an affiliate, don't refer them directly. You first have to remember you have to build a business. In other words, there's a process before you give them that, and we call that a lead magnet. Unless you can capture their names, it's not going to work, because not only do I want you to refer, you of course can do that, but I want you to start making money, serious money, from this that we've got. And that's the reason why we're setting this up. Daniel, awesome. Ralph, 2, Suet. The only constant is change. That is part of the game. Suet knows us from also friends with Laura for many, many years. Tertia, hearts. Jennifer, love it. Janita, just bought my PowerGoal ebook bundle. Well done. That is where it's going to start, irrespective. Right. Junita, just right. Tasha, this is great. Thanks. Kosane, a lot of hearts. I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's quickly see the free goodies. Where can you find that for today? It's actually very simple. I need to take you there and show you how simple it is. I've already prepared for this. So if you go to, for example, this channel, you're going to find that there's, I just want to get this out of the way a little bit. You'll see just below the video, you'll see information and show more. So the moment that you click on the show more, there's all the free goodies, and that affiliate system, the free sign up for the affiliate Wealth Creators affiliate system, that's the link that you're going to follow. And if you click on that link, it's going to take you to the form. And then in the webinar and in further trainings, I'm going to show you how to fill that in. And it's really, really as simple and as easy as that. Right. So I hope that that helps a little bit. And then I think it's time for the question and answer session. I think Lara's a great teacher, says Nkosana. Right. I appreciate that. I don't see any others. And then also in the next lesson, next episode, we're going to look at episode 6. And this is building the money-making machine. Remember, we've already designed it. Now we've gone through the evaluation process before you actually, and this should be incorporated in the design. That's why I first show you the design. It looks very complicated until you do this. If all these questions are yes, I guarantee you that within a 2-year period, you can take a business from a startup where you've got no idea, especially this affiliate marketing or even your own product, and start taking this and build it into a level 2. I saw a video that I've done in 2000, I think it was in 2016, where I also, it's on YouTube, you can go in and search for it, and maybe I can give you a link to it. And I think last time, or the day before, the episode before, I gave you in that comment section, I gave you an additional link. Go and have a look there. We are earning in the vicinity of 750,000 Rand per hour of work. And isn't that what it's all about? 750,000 Rand for a business per year. Per year. It's crazy, people. But you have to start somewhere. And the right place to start is in that link. You're going to find that there's a link that I've said to start with this process of from startup to income. Go and have a look. That video is there. See if it makes sense to you, especially with the bundle. And please remember what I've said in terms of, do it in the right sequence, because that is the right information, the right order for the level of the game that you're at. And this is what we've done. We've put all of this together to take you so that there's no overwhelm. Today I spoke to Cornell about this overwhelm. If you're going to look at everything, it's just going to be too much, and you're going to hop, skip, and jump. And that is not what we want. We want to give you the results. Start with the quantum awakening. And I guarantee you, by the time that you're at the end of the quantum awakening, things are going to make sense. You're going to have this peace, and you're going to have this, okay, now I know what to do. And don't spend like 3 to 4 hours. Of course, you can do that if you want to, but rather spend like 20 minutes to half an hour per day. You can take a rest over the weekend, but do it to get into that habit. And as soon as you start getting into that habit, in the beginning it may feel, yes, I want to go faster. Don't go faster. Make sure that you get the information, that it's solid. Go back to the quantum several times if you have to. Incorporate the rest, and you're going to find that this is a very, very straightforward and incredible process. And I really want to thank you for your time and that you're putting in. This is, if you know of someone that you think that this can benefit, then please make sure that you tell them about this channel. Also, if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe and tell other people about this. If you're an affiliate, there's another way to do it. Don't just refer them, because then you're not going to get the commission. You have to capture their names first before you bring them. And maybe that is one of the next 2 or 3 lessons that I need to do, is to show you exactly how to do that before you bring them to this channel. Because I guarantee you that this playlist from 0 to millions, the information that I've just shared with you and that Lara shared with you, not only today, but from the beginning, that in itself is worth so much money that at least a person can come on your database so that you can start building. And if you want to have that, please let us know in the comment section. Also, if you listen to this at a later stage, the replay, go through the same process. I still like the likes. For some crazy reason, I haven't got all the likes that I want for today. I really appreciate more likes. And there's a reason why I'm asking for the likes. The more likes you're getting us, the higher the search engine will grade this specific lesson. And then more people will see it on YouTube. And isn't this our duty to make sure that people get this? Because people are stuck, my friends. People have lost their jobs. They are hopeless. What's going to happen in South Africa? What's going to happen to my children, to my grandchildren? If you do what we're telling you to do, we've been doing this. I've retired at 37 from simply doing what I'm sharing with you. And those days, it was flippin' difficult. I started my career in sales. As an affiliate, it's a no-brainer, but it still takes time. It still takes effort, especially in the beginning. You still have to set up the machine. Of course, if you're a method student, we're going to guide you and help you to set up these affiliate systems with the fuel, how to get it, and then how to make life so easy for you. I'm so glad that you are with us. Let me put it to you that way, because I know this is a mind, it's going to change your life forever. But you have to do it. And then I see a lot of likes. I see a lot of hearts. I see Francois is going crazy. Tsitsi is giving me hearts like it's going out of fashion. I really love and enjoy that. And I think with that, and remember, even on the replay, do exactly the same. And I hope then Prosper to Go give me this strong. I like that as well. It shows, okay, we are powerful beyond words. And this is what we are, because we are wealth creators. We know how to create, to grow, protect, and enjoy our lives. Right. And the greatest contribution that I know that I can do is to share this knowledge with you. And that is, well, that's my purpose. So I'm really honored and thanks that you are willing to listen to me. And I think with that, Uncle Hannes can sign off. See you. Cheers. Bye.